Hello everyone, this is me Garima Singh. Today we will discuss Chapter 5. I'm discussing second book, that is India, People and Economy. Its fifth chapter is Land, Resource and Agriculture. So here we will discuss about land use categories, different type of crops and that cropping season, what are crops should be grown on that period. So let's move on to the first topic, that is land use categories. In this we will discuss how much land is used for forest, how much land is used in as just wasteland and barren, and how much land area under permanent pasture and grazing land, then area under miscellaneous tree crops, then cultivable wasteland, current fallow, net shown area. So we will discuss land use category, like we use land for which purpose, for forest, for non-agriculture uses, for grazing lands. So that's about land use categories. These are forest, barren land, for non-agriculture, then permanent pasture, for miscellaneous like crops and groves not including net shown area, then cultivable wasteland, current fallow, the net shown area. Net shown means the physical extent of land on which crops are shown and harvested is known as net shown area. Now we will discuss land use changes in India. So these are the categories for which we use land, but there how to use it changes over a period of time. Unlike other natural resource, land is fixed. It does not change by size or area. Economic activities are the major cause that affect land use. Three main economic change that lead to the land use change, that is size of economy. If economy increases, then obviously burden gonna increase on land. Composition of an economy, that is proportion of different sector, then increasing pressure on agricultural land. So during period of 1661, that is 1960-61 to till 2008, some land use changes are worth mentioning, which shown an increase and decrease. So area record increase in land use is area under forest cover. So here land use increased. Current fallow lands, it increased. For non-agriculture use, land has been increased. For net shown area, land has been increased. And there are other records which shows land use decrease in other fields, like barren and wasteland has been reduced. Cultivable wasteland has been reduced. Then area under permanent pasture and tree crops, it has been reduced. Fallow, other than current fallow, it has been reduced. Basically used in more productive way. On the basis of ownership, land use can be classified into two categories, that is private land, that is owned by an individual, and then other is common property resource. So common property resource basically available for all and can be used by any person. It provides fodder for the livestock and fuel for the household. In rural areas, such land is of particular relevance of livelihood of the landless and marginal farmer. Then agriculture land use in India. So in this one, most of the Indians are dependent on agriculture directly or indirectly for their subsistence. Agriculture is mainly land-based activity, unlike secondary and tertiary sector. The role of quality of land is important in agriculture. The more the land is fertile, the more it gives output production. Ownership of land resource is considered as social status in rural area. It is also seen as security for credit, natural hazard or life contingency. Availability of total resource for agriculture use is calculated by adding up net shown area, then all fallow land and cultivable wasteland. So even cropping season in India, I will discuss. Let's move on to here. These are the three cropping season in India. First one is Kharif. Kharif, basically crops are shown in the period of month of June till September. In north state you find rice, cotton, bajra, maize, jowar, tur, and southern also the same with groundnut and ragi, more add on it. Then Rabi crops, these basically done in winters, October till March. In March they are harvested. Example, wheat, gram, rapeseeds, mustard, barley. In southern state, groundnut and rice in southern state it been cultivated in all the three cropping season, but in north you get different varieties of crops that you find in Kharif you will not find in Rabi. In Jad, vegetable, fruits and fodder, that is fruit season completely, fruit and vegetable. So Kharif, its sowing period is June and harvesting is September. In Rabi, its sowing is October and harvested in March, and they are done in between April and June. Jad. So we will discuss types of farming. I'm just telling you the crux. I'm not going one by one line, just going through crux because I will discuss question and answer in a detailed way. So that's why I'm just telling this in a brief. So types of farming. First is irrigated farming. The main source of moisture for this farming is irrigation by various methods, that is well, tubules. Two types are protective and productive farming. Then rain-fed farming, that is the main source of moisture for this farming is rainfall. Even in rain-fed farming there are two types, that is dryland farming and wetland farming. In dryland, basically it's confined to the region where is rainfall is less than 75 centimeter. So in this region, hardly drought resistance crop. Here where rainfall is less, you find crop like ragi, bajra, moong, gram. And on the other hand, wetland farming, here the rainfall is more. So in such region, because of rainfall, excess rainfall, so you will get excess of soil moisture requirement of plant. Then such region may face flood and soil erosion hazards. These areas grow various water intensive crop like rice, jute, sugarcane. Now let's move on to the cropping pattern. We will discuss of food grains, then cereals, then other. Let's firstly discuss food grains. So food grain are important for agriculture economy, which constitute about 2/3 of total crop area in the country. The food grain are classified. Cereals are the part of food grains. So cereals, India ranked third in production of cereals after China and USA. India produce 11% of the world and cover 54% of total cropped area, as you can see here. 11% of the world produce and 54% of the cropped area. So let's discuss what are the cereals you find. First is rice. I think it's been where it's rice. So rice is the most important food crop of India. That is a staple food. India ranked second with the production nearly 22% after China and world. Then state like West Bengal, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh were major rice producing state. Then in northwestern and Himalaya region it is grown in Kharif crop, whereas in West Bengal farmer grow 3 crops of rice called Aus, Aman and Boru. Then wheat. Wheat share, where's wheat? Yeah. Wheat, India share 12% of total wheat production of the world. It is like India share 22% of rice production. So like this way, 12% of wheat production. Then about 85% of this area come under Indo-Gangetic plain where wheat has been grown. Malwa Plateau and Himalayan north and central part of the country. The major wheat producing state of India are Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, basically northwestern region. Then there are coars again like jowar, bajra, sorghum. Jowar, it is grown in about 5.3% of total cropped area. Maharashtra is the largest producer of jowar in the world. Then bajra. Bajra, it is grown in about 5.2% of the total cropped area in the country. The major producer of bajra, Maharashtra, Gujarat. Then there is maize. So in maize, it is grown in about 3.6% of total cropped area in the country. There is no particular region under maize. It is shown all over India except eastern and northeastern region. The leading producer are Madhya Pradesh. Then next is pulses. Pulses are grown in India on about 11% of the total cropped area. Then gram, it is grown in 2.8% of the total cropped area, and the producing state are Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. Then there is the tur. This is grown in 2% of total cropped area of India. It is the second important pulse crop in the country. Maharashtra is the leading producer of tur, which produce about 75% of tur in India. Then oil seeds. Oilseeds are produced for extracting edible oil. Oilseed include groundnut, rapeseed, mustard, soya bean. You can say different oilseeds are grown in India. About 40% of total crop area in country. Dry land of Malwa Plateau, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Telangana, Rayalaseema of Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka Plateau are leading producer of oilseeds. Then fiber crops. So fiber crops are one which provide fiber for preparing cloth. These include cotton. India grow both short staple cotton as well as long staple cotton. Short staple is Indian cotton, long staple is American cotton. Then this make India, like growing cotton, make India the fourth largest producer of cotton after China, US, and Pakistan. China is the first position in when it's come to cotton production. Then USA is second, Pakistan is third, and India comes at fourth. That is after Pakistan. Largest producer of cotton in India are Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh. Then jute. India accounts for about 60% of the world jute production, whereas only West Bengal just covers 75% jute produced in West Bengal. Other producing states are Bihar and Assam. Now discuss other crops like sugarcane, tea, and coffee. Fiber crop, we had other crops, sugarcane. So India's sugarcane production is about 23% of the world total production. Even in sugarcane production, India is the second largest producer after Brazil. Brazil at number one and India is two in case of sugar cane production. Major producers are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat. Uttar Pradesh account 40% of sugarcane production and secure a position of the largest producer of India. In India, Uttar Pradesh produce more sugarcane than tea, and at the world, India comes at second number. First is Brazil. Next is tea. So tea, Assam 53.2% is the largest producer of tea in India. Other states are West Bengal and Tamil Nadu. Coffee. In case of coffee, India is the seventh largest producer of coffee in the world, which account about 3.2% share. Karnataka is the largest producer of coffee that produce more than 66% of India's total coffee. Then agriculture development in India. About 54.6% of population is engaged in agriculture activity. According to census, and about 57% of it land is used for cultivation of various crops in India. Then land human ratio in India is only 0.31% hectare. Strategy of development we will discuss. So before independence, Indian agriculture was largely subsistence in nature. This period was frequently witnessed severe drought, famine, and food shortage. About one third of the irrigated area went to Pakistan. Then government, that is about pre-independence, and government after independence, government took several steps to increase production of food grains, like switching over from cash crop to food crops, then intensification of cropping over already cultivated land, then increasing cultivated area by bringing cultivable and fallow land under plug. Then Indian agriculture could not progress much. Then government introduced modern technology, like modern technology come after green revolution, like high yield variety of seeds, fertilizer, mechanization, improved irrigation and credit marketing facility, intensive area development program. So all those like HYV seeds, improved irrigation, intensive mechanization, fertilizer, these all input were the main component what is known as green revolution. The strategy of agriculture development in the country made the country self-reliant in food grain production, but green revolution was initially confined to irrigated area only. This led to regional disparity in agriculture development in the country till 17. Consequently, Planning Commission prepared plan to solve the problem of agriculture in rain-fed areas. So growth of agriculture output and technology. Since independence, there has been improvement in technology that is used for agriculture production. India now became first largest producer of pulses in jute and second largest in rice, wheat, groundnut, sugarcane and vegetable. First is in pulse and jute. New technologies also came up to increase the production, like HYV seeds, like I have discussed, chemical fertilizer, Then problem of Indian agriculture. Now we will discuss problem. Dependence on erratic monsoon. So the nature of southwest monsoon is very fluctuating, which causes flood and drought situation in India. Then low productivity. India also lag behind in term of per hectare production and per person production, also behind at international level. It means low productivity is a result of high population, which create heavy pressure on available land resource. Then constraint of financial resource, that is financial resource and indebtedness, lack of money and financial resource are the major constraint to the development of agriculture in India. Even as majority of farmers are small, marginal and poor, they cannot afford highly expensive input. Then lack of land reform. So lack of land reform means unequal distribution of land resource lead to worst condition of poor and marginal farmer, and also became constrained in the development of agriculture. And then small farm size and fragmentation of land holding. Inheritance law is mainly responsible for small and fragmented farm size. Lack of commercialization, as most of the farmer are poor and marginal. Farmer practice subsistence agriculture for their living. Then vast underemployment. There is seasonal unemployment in agriculture sector. There is no income during plugging. Then degradation of cultivable lands. So after Green Revolution, degradation has started in India. Excessive use of irrigation, chemical fertilizer, this lead to degradation of land and problems like waterlogging and salinization. Fertility of land is also decreased day by day. So these are the reason of degradation of cultivable lands. Now we will discuss question and answer of this chapter. Let's move on to first. You have to choose the right answer above the option. Which one of the following is not a land use category? Like all our uses, one is not land use category. It's marginal. Fallow land, net shown culture. These are marginal land is not a land use category. What one of the following is the main reason due to which share of forest has shown an increase in the last 40 years? So here answer is quite easy. What lead to? So increase in notified area allocated for forest growth. It increases basically. Not of afforestation, not of community, not of better people. It's because of increase in notified area allotted for forest growth. So it's C, then here it's B. Then which one of the following is the main form of degradation in irrigated area? So it's degradation. It's no. For degradation, we have discussed that as salinization of soil. It's become salty, more of a salt content in soil. Then fourth, which one of the following crop is not cultivated under dryland farming? Dryland basically those crops which need less water. So sugarcane need more water. Sugarcane is not of a dry land. So sugarcane for sure. In which of the following group of country of the world HYV of wheat and rice were developed? It's Mexico and Philippines. Philippines. You have to remember. Mexico and Philippines. Next. Answer the following in 30 words. That is like small answer type question. Differentiate between barren and waste and culturable land. Barren. So barren and wasteland both are same. That is no crop production is done on that particular land. It is barren. Cultivable land where crops are being cropping is done, and barren no cropping is done. So in barren, wasteland and barren land both are same synonym. Barren land refer to that land which cannot be brought under cultivation practice even with the use of present technology. Then cultivable land is the land which is left fallow for more than 5 years. You can do cultivation in that, but in barren land you can't. Then barren land and wasteland It is the land which is depleted due to land degradation or other natural factor like ravine of Chambal. There you find barren land. Then cultivable land, it cannot be brought under cultivation. It can be. This one is cannot. It can be brought under cultivation with present reclamation technology. In this, if you with technology you brought back to cultivation, but in this one, it's not possible. Then second, how would you distinguish net shown area and gross cropped area? So net shown area, the physical extent of land in which crops are shown and harvested in an year is known as net shown area. Basically, this is the area actually cultivated. Then gross cropped area, the total area cultivated once, twice, or multiple time in a year is the gross cropped area. Gross like total in a year, how many time you have cultivated on that particular area. So that is gross cropped area. Then net shown area does not take into account multiple cropping, but gross it multiple cropping is taken into account in gross cropped area. Next is what is the okay where we are. Why is the strategy of increasing cropping intensity important in country like India? The strategy of increasing crop intensity aim at increasing the productivity of a piece of land by increasing the number of time it is cultivated in a year. It aims at increasing the productivity of agriculture by increasing the productivity of already cultivated area. It is important for a country like India where there is dearth of land, so it is difficult to bring new pieces of land under cultivation to meet the ever increasing demand of rising population. So it is important to increase cropping intensity. Next, how do you measure total cultivable land? Total cultivable land is the entire land which can be cultivated either in the current state or after reclaiming it through the available technologies. It is sum of total cultivable wasteland, fallow other than current fallow and net shown areas. So next is what is the difference between dry land and wetland farming. So dry land in India, it is confined to area with rainfall of less than 75 centimeter in a year. Rainfall is less than, so the total moisture requirement of the soil is also less. Then in wetland farming, rainfall is more than total moisture requirement of the soil during rainy season. Then dryland, you can say these area face problem of drought because rainfall is less. These area face problem of flash flood and soil erosion are faced because more rainfall is done. Dryland method of water conservation are used. Also water harvesting is carried out because of less rainfall. In wetland, aquaculture is practiced in these areas due to excess of water. Dryland, hardy and drought resistance crop like jowar, bajra, gram are grown. In wetland, water intensive crop like rice, sugarcane and jute are grown. Then dryland practiced in area like northern Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Wetland practiced in rainier part of Bihar and West Bengal. Now move on to long question type. Let's discuss first one. What are the different type of environmental problem of land resource in India? So land resource in India are faced with multiple issues that lead to a decline in their productivity. The causes are both environmental and related to malpractices. The main environmental issue confronting Indian resource are firstly dependence on erratic monsoon. Irrigation cover only about 33% of the cultivable area in India. The crop production in rest of cultivated land directly depend on rainfall. Poor monsoon adversely affect the supply of canal water for irrigation. Rainfall in drought-prone area is too meager and highly unreliable. Even the area receiving high annual rainfall experience considerable fluctuation. Then environmental problem next is low productivity. The yield of crop in country is low in comparison to the international level. India agriculture is also very low in comparison to the international level, particularly dryland, which mostly grow crops, cereals, pulses, oilseeds. Then degradation of cultivable land, that is Strategy of irrigation and agriculture development is degradation of land resources. They lead to depletion of soil fertility. Leguminous crop have been displaced from cropping pattern in the irrigated area, and duration of fallow has substantially reduced owing to multiple cropping. Then natural fertilization such as nitrogen fixation, by this process you can improve. The environmental problem can be improved. So I'm just telling you the points. First, you can say dependence on monsoon, low productivity, degradation of cultivable land. In this one, you can write these problems. Where is that? Let me scroll. Dependence on erratic monsoon, lack of land reform, low productivity. Then, oh, you have to write what environment. These are financial levels. So degradation of cultivable land. Then low productivity and dependence. These lead to environment. So these three you can write. Next is, what are the important strategy for agriculture development followed in the post-independent period in India? So Indian agriculture economy was largely subsistence in nature before independence. During partition, about 1/3 of the irrigated land is undivided. India went to Pakistan. After independence, the immediate goal of government was to increase food grain production. So they switched from cash crop to food crop. Then intensify the cropping pattern of cultivable land. Then increase cultivated area. Reduce barren land. Later you say IADP, that is Intensive Agriculture District Program. Then Intensive Agriculture Area Program was launched. By two consecutive drought, 1960, two consecutive phase drought, so resulted in food crisis in the country. There is about 1960s. New seeds variety of wheat, that is Mexico, and rice, Philippines. Wheat and rice, known as high yielding variety, were available for cultivation by mid 1960. Then India took advantage of this and introduced package technology like HYV, chemical fertilizer, basically in northwestern area, Punjab, Haryana, and western Uttar Pradesh. Even few states like Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat. The spur of agriculture growth came to be known as Green Revolution. This also gave flip to the development of large number of agro input, agro processing industry, and small scale industry. Even the Planning Commission of India focused its attention on the problem of agriculture in rained area in 1980s. It initiated agroclimatic planning in 1988 to introduce regionally balanced agriculture development in the country. It also emphasized the need of diversification of agriculture and harnessing of resource for development of dairy farming, poultry, horticulture, livestock rearing. So that was about chapter. All about this chapter I have discussed its crux, question and answer. That was about land resource in agriculture. What are different agriculture pattern? Then land use category we have discussed. In simple word, land use means the different uses to which land is put to use. Different type of land are used for different purpose. Human being does use land as resource for production as well as residence. Then we discuss common property resource, that is can be defined as community natural resource where every member has the right of access and usage with some obligation without anybody having the right to property over them. Then we have discussed about different type of cropping pattern, Kharif, Rabi, Zaid, and different type of crops which is growing in the particular season. We have discussed problem of Green Revolution, its uses, in which area it's been introduced, that in northwestern area. So we are done with this chapter. In next lecture I will discuss about 6th chapter. That's for today. Thank you. I mean, this chapter is little bit long time taking because it's more of bit lengthy. Thanks for lecture. Next lecture will be about 6th chapter. Thank you.